The Christmas spirit is in full swing now that the Santa Clauses have dropped on Disney Plus. For me, it's not officially Christmas season until Tim Allen's The Santa Claus has been watched. Absolutely love that movie, and I have just as high hopes for the series. And now that I've seen the first 2 episodes that were dropped, I'm completely hooked and convinced this could easily have been another movie. That's how good these first 2 episodes are. I am so wrapped up into the story already and everything going on with Santa Claus and his life in the North Pole over the past 28 years. And that's where this series picks up. 28 years Tim Allen has been Santa Claus, and we have Mrs. Claus, and he's also had 2 more children. Cal, who's played by Austin Kane, and Sandra, played by Elizabeth Allen Dick. Now, Santa is contemplating retirement for a handful of reasons, and 2 of which are his kids who, well, let's face it, they've grown up and they've become a little odd because the only interactions they've had are with elves and animals and, well, the whole Christmas magic. So not having any interactions with other humans is kind of, well, let's just say they're not all there. Now, Charlie is also in the series. I was glad to see him back. He's also an adult. He's got a family of his own. He does play a role in this, and he's entered very early on in the series. And the connection between Santa and Mrs. Claus and Charlie are just as strong as the movies were. So I'm glad to see that brought into the series, and it really does feel like a continuation of the movies rather than a cheap spin-off that they're just trying to make a quick buck on. So in that regard, I applaud them. I think it's done very, very well. It has a lot of the same settings as far as the shop is concerned, the sleigh, even the animatronic reindeer and the CGI is very much the same as the movie. So everything ties in really well. They did update Santa's makeup a little bit, so he's got a rounder, more fuller nose, and they aged him a little bit, which you kind of have to do. It's been 28 years now. You can't have the same Santa for 28 years without an extra wrinkle or 2, but he still has that same sarcasm and that same bubbly personality. It's really cool how Tim Allen has went from the movies years ago to the series, and it doesn't seem like he's missed a beat at all. He slid right back into that same character as if he just made those movies a year or 2 ago. For me, that brought back a lot of nostalgia. I'm like giddy. I feel like a little kid again watching this. All the magic that's happening around the North Pole and the way the northern lights are just illuminating the sky and the way that the reindeer are making all their goofy faces in flight and stuff. It's just so much fun. It's like watching the movie all over again, but now I get to watch even more of it because obviously we have a series. We also have some new elves. We have a new head elf, and she takes her job very seriously. And Santa's even got this new assistant elf who flies with him on Christmas Eve night. And he's very bubbly and excited and really like over the top, like fanboy for Santa. But the actor himself, I think he's very young, so he doesn't have a lot of acting experience yet. And you could tell that in its delivery and on screen. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It doesn't take away from the character, but you could definitely tell the experienced actors from the unexperienced ones like him. And that brings me to Santa's other 2 kids, Cal and Sandra. These 2, like I said earlier, they grew up on the North Pole with no other human interaction. So that's kind of played a factor in their personalities. They're, how do I word this? Buffoons. A little bit weird. Not all there. And maybe that's why I just kind of feel a little disconnected from them. It's not like Charlie, who has a good connection with Santa and an understanding of both humans and the elves and North Pole and everything else like that. I'm finding myself struggling to really connect with these 2 kids right now. And again, it's only been 2 episodes, so maybe things will change as the series goes on. But I think this series as a whole is absolutely incredible. It really captures the Christmas spirit and the magic behind Christmas. Tim Allen has a very unique and fun take on Santa Claus. He always has. So if we're only seeing the first 2 episodes, I'm absolutely in love with this. I can't wait for next week's episode. And I'm definitely going to keep you updated on those episodes as they come along, because this is a very exciting series for me. It really puts me in the Christmas spirit. I want to know what your thoughts are. If you saw the first 2 episodes, is it everything you were hoping for? Leave your comments down below. Do me a favor, drop a like on the video for me if you haven't already, and hit that subscribe button on your way out. I'm Kevin, and I'll see you at the concession stands.